Hey everybody, it's your girl Angie. Welcome back to Kiss My Cheeks TV. I know I'm hella late. We about to do the Real Housewives of Atlanta. If you watch other videos of mine, you know that graduation is coming up for my son. I'm extremely busy. It's tax season. I'm extremely busy. And Real Housewives of Atlanta Part 2 really didn't give anything for me to be excited to review, to even want to give my opinion on. But I was like, Angie, you don't want to have part 1 up and then just jump to part 3, because I am looking forward to see what they're going to do on part 3. I like consistency, so let's go ahead and throw part 2 out there and let's be quick. Up first, Drew and Latoya, I care nothing about. Nothing about. These to me are two people who want to be on Real Housewives of Atlanta so bad that they're doing the most. Both of them. Both of them. Yes, Latoya started it. Drew finished it with that headshot read in South Carolina. I don't know how it got started back up again, but after that headshot read, it just went, I can't take Drew. Couldn't take Latoya, but at this point now, I'd rather see Latoya over Cynthia. So let's give Latoya Cynthia's speech, because it was just too much. And I really don't care to talk about any of that. At some point, Toya said, Drew, you cheated on your husband with me. They kissed in South Carolina. And like, at this point, I really feel like Real Housewives of Atlanta is turning into Survivor. It's turning into Kenya's alliance versus Portia's alliance, because they like Kandi saw it and Portia saw it, and Portia was like, who saw what? And I'm like, Portia, it's not that serious. If you saw them kissing, say you kissing, but you probably don't want Drew to say she saw you fucking. So I don't know. I'm over it. I'm over it. Who cares if Toya and Drew kissed? It seems like sexual tension anyway. That's what it seemed like. So maybe y'all need to go ahead and bust it out and get it over with and move on. I don't care nothing about Kenya and Latoya, because I guarantee you if Latoya is back, Kenya gonna want her minion back. She gonna forgive Latoya for telling her business. So let's move on. I want to know why Andy, because Kenya gave Kandi the read of, because they talking about bringing Brooklyn to the trips. I said this once and I'll say it again. I don't think anybody cares or is that upset about leaving their babies at home. I personally would be more upset that your baby here. Like, bitch, stay at home if you ain't got no babysitter. Because I don't want to go on a girls trip where I'm ready to turn up, party, put my bikini on, drink. I don't want to have to now be just conscious of watching my words and my steps because your baby here. I don't want to be hearing no 2-year-old upstairs crying for their milk in the middle of the night while I'm trying to get some sleep. You know, that's why I would have been pissed at Kenya. I don't want to bring my baby on the trip, but I don't want your baby on the trip neither. If your baby got to come, do it that season when y'all brought y'all babies to Greece and y'all babies at the villa over there. You ain't messing up my girl's trip with a baby. But anyway, Kenya gives the read of, well, if you could bring the dick in the box, you could have brought your baby too. I'm mad Andy didn't let Kandi answer that, because Kenya deserved a read. I would have said, fuck you and your baby if you ain't got a babysitter, stay home. Period. Where else do we want to go from here? Marlo and Shamia. Or as Marlo would say, Shamila. And I actually like Shamila. I think that's pretty, but her name is Shamia. Andy asked Shamia, who are you wearing? And Marlo said, coming to America. That was funny, because we've all said it on Twitter. Marlo looked good. I've said it once before. I like her dress. I thought it's a beautiful throwback to when Toni Braxton used to walk the Grammys. It was sexy. Fresh lipo. I ain't mad. Everybody on there had a lipo, a breast lift, and a booty shot, if you ask me. So don't try to read Marlo for hers. She looked good. But I did think the dress looks better standing than sitting. When you sit, Marlo, it looked like you had a little roll. But hell, I got a big roll, so I ain't going to read nobody for it. I'm just tired of Shamia trying to shame Marlo for the lipo, because to me it's lazy and late when a person has already admitted to having a lipo. Who cares if she had the lipo before her nephew jumped on the back or after? She admitted to having it. So we're going to really try to shame her for her timeline. Let's move on. I've already talked about the baby on the trip. I don't care about Drew or Kenya no more. Okay, let's hurry up and talk about Cynthia's wedding. I don't care nothing about the mean tweets. I really don't care nothing about Cynthia and her super spreader wedding. At the end of the day, let's be honest. We have all looked up and down Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, whatever social media you look at. We saw a million weddings since March 2020. That's when the pandemic, that's when the quarantine started. We've seen a million people do weddings. At least Cynthia's, they was trying to wear a mask, trying to wear a shield. Most of them didn't. But like one of my favorite YouTubers just got married. I ain't seen that person with a mask. We just saw Jeannie Mai and her damn, who she married? Jeezy get married. We ain't seen no damn mask. So I have friends and family get married, and there wasn't nobody wearing no damn mask. Now, yes, some of them have done. I've seen small home weddings. I've seen huge. Cynthia, I'm just saying all to say Cynthia ain't the only one. So let Cynthia live. Y'all ain't get sick. Ain't nobody get sick. If somebody would have got sick, then we could drag to the end of time for Cynthia. But at the end of the day, Cynthia only owes responsibility for the health and safety of herself. Everyone she invited to that wedding was grown as fuck. If they did not want to be a part of a super spreader wedding, they could have RSVP'd no and sent a gift. And let Cynthia and Mike walk down an empty ass mansion by their damn self. She ain't forced nobody's hand to show up to that. And if somebody would have got sick for showing up and not wearing a mask, that's their fault, because they ain't have to be there at the end of the day. So let's move on. What I really want to know is why the hell the Ashley girl ain't show up to the wedding. Cynthia, this the reunion. If you ain't gonna answer no questions, what you doing here? What you doing here? And why the hell Mike ain't signed no prenup, nevertheless a postnup? He ain't signing no postnup. I wish I would sign a postnup. After that, I done already got my ass down the aisle without the prenup. You think I'm about to sign something in the post? I think Mike is a great guy, but hell, I don't know Mike. His past look a little shady. I definitely would have Mike with his 20 female best friends signing a fucking prenup. And especially half of them he done fucked and kissed before. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Mike ass would have signed the prenup. I don't think he gonna sign a postnup, but you know what, Cynthia? That's your business. And that's your money, because at the end of the day, it ain't got nothing to do with my bank account. So let's move on. Portia and Kandi, they want to go back to whatever season with the dungeon, whatever. They want to go back to show the progression of Portia and Kandi's friendship since the rape allegations. Was it a rape? That's pretty much what it is. We're going to quit sugarcoating it, because at the end of the day, Portia said Kandi was trying to do some allegedly T.I. and Tiny shit. They was trying to drug her and get her into the sex dungeon and do whatever they want with her body. That's what Portia was alleging at the end of the day. It is not true at the end of the day, because I wasn't really reviewing back then, so I don't think I ever said my 2 cents. I probably would not be able to be friends with Portia anymore. I don't care if Phaedra said it. I don't care if so-called Carlos King said it. I don't care where you heard it from. One, what grown woman needs ammunition to have a conversation with another grown woman? If you sitting there, 2, let's just go to 2 real quick. You should have minded your fucking business, Portia, because in that season, the beef was between Kandi and Phaedra. It had nothing to do with you. You let Phaedra get you in the middle of some bullshit. And number 3, if someone, as soon as Phaedra would have said, I heard Kandi told me, 1, why would Kandi tell Phaedra some shit like that? Just dumb. But 3, as soon as Phaedra would have said, Kandi told me she was going to put something in your drink and take you back to her sex dungeon, ammunition over. Me and Kandi got to have a conversation real quick, fast, and direct. I need to know what the fuck was up and what is going on. Those are very serious allegations, and if it was me, I wouldn't be able to kiki in this bitch face no more. Me and Portia would be done. Portia would be like the girl in Escape. The girl in Escape only said you fucked Jermaine Dupri's daddy. What Portia said is way worse. And you broke up the whole group and said fuck the whole group because the girl said you fucked Jermaine Dupri's daddy. What Portia said was way worse. I wouldn't be fucking around with Portia, but it is what it is. People go along to get along at work every day. Every day. People go along to get along at work. So if Kandi wants to make up with Portia, who cares? It's kind of like if Kenya wants to forgive Marlo and they want to be fake or whatever they gonna be. Who cares? I feel like next week they're about to try to really bring Kandi back around to why are we here, Kandi? Why do we even do a dungeon party? Because of that bitch Portia. I feel like they're really going to try to get Kandi to circle back around to her judgment of, should I really be trusting this bitch Portia? I'm going to stop calling people bitches. Should I really stop trusting Portia? I feel like they're trying to pull that union apart. I think it could happen. I feel like an isolation season is coming Portia's way if Portia doesn't just do a Monique Samuels and give them the deuces. Marlo says Kandi told what Portia was in that bedroom doing. She was like, while you sitting up here kissing Kandi ass, she told me what you did with Bolo. Because Marlo says she didn't feel like Portia got to close with Kandi until Kandi had something over her. And I felt like that was a reach, but maybe if you really think about it, maybe it's not. Like maybe she did kind of like, let me go make up with Don Juan. Let me go kiss the Kandi, because Portia can't stand that candy coated click. So maybe she did. I don't know. I really don't know. They give Andy the silver bullet name. I thought that was cute, but Kandi's sales went through the roof after the bachelorette party. I called that on my review because it ain't look like nothing but a big advertising, free advertising. Matter of fact, she got paid to advertise. I'm not here for the virtual dungeon, Kandi. I don't think anybody want to watch that. We want to see it in real life. Because if we just want to watch people sling penis around, we can go on over to Pornhub and watch that shit for free. We ain't about to pay you to see it. Portia says she got along with Chocolate. I agree. I feel like Portia and Kenya could be fucking friends. They have so much in common. They act the fuck just alike sometimes. And I'd rather them do a Portia and Kandi than these alliances. I just don't like the alliances. Portia admits that Toya had her face down here. Girl, I'm telling you, this is my theory. This is my new theory. I don't think Tanya was a part of that threesome with Bolo. I really think Tanya was in Portia's room, drunk, eating her snacks, and probably passed out asleep in her good girlfriend Portia's room. I'm telling you, it was Bolo, Portia, and Toya, and Kenya probably isn't trying to throw her girl Toya under the bus that much, and maybe people don't want to throw Toya under the bus, but they're willing to throw Portia under that bus. I believe it was Toya. I believe they got good and down. I already told y'all what I believe, but let's move on. Marlo is now really bothered. She like, fuck what Portia over there talking about. I want to talk about the elephant in the room. I want to know why we ain't friends. At the end of the day, I say at the end of the day a lot. I think I like saying that. Anyway, could you trust someone who befriends your arch enemy like that? And that's supposed to be their arch enemy too. I understand the ladies in the group want peace. They tired of the Marlo Kenya feud. They should be tired of the damn Kenya Portia feud. I think a lot of people in the group don't like Portia. That's why they're not tired of the feud. And that's why I say I feel a Portia isolation coming along. If I was Portia, I would be a little bit pressed. And I wouldn't trust Marlo as either. One, I never felt like Portia and Marlo were friends. I felt like they were friends in conjunction to Nene. Like, Nene was the nucleus, and then she had Portia and Marlo, and so they all hung out when they were with Nene. And now that Nene is gone, you guys are trying to force a friendship so y'all could be in a forced alliance on this show. Yes, you all get along. Yes, y'all nieces and whatever y'all want to be. But at the end of the day, I said it again. Marlo ain't no fool. She's very calculated. She's been calculated from the time she's been a friend of this show. She jumps from the main peach. She was with Nene. Her and Nene fell out. Kenya. Nene comes back. I'm with Nene. Nene disappears. I'm with Portia, but I think Marlo realizes everybody really don't give a fuck about Portia. And I think Marlo knows Candy really don't give a fuck about Portia. I think Marlo knows that. And she was like, let me go on over here and make up with Kenya, because if I want to stay, I need to be in the in group. And you see, when everybody was kicking it over at Kenya's house, and I think they had a good time. I wasn't mad at when they were kicking it over Kenya's house. I would like to see more of that, even though I can't stand that bitch Kenya. But that ain't got nothing to do with that. Portia was on the outs. Shamia is a friend. Tanya has run for the fucking border. So Marlo was like, I need to get in where I fit in, and Portia might not be it. So I'm not mad at Portia for not fucking with Marlo. I feel like if the second, because Marlo is like, well, Candy already told me. So if Candy already told you, why does Portia have to admit it to you? Why didn't you tell Portia before the reunion, if you were a friend of Portia's at that house, before you even start making up with Kenya? You should be like, girl, Candy told me you was fucking with Bolo, so what's up? That's what I would do. I'd be like, the bitch already told me, girl, so what's up? But you waited to the reunion to reveal that Candy told you. I feel like if Portia would have opened her mouth and admitted anything, Marlo would have sprayed her to Kenya. She would have wanted to have a group table chat and be like, well, Portia, you said it. So I'm not mad at Portia for not telling Marlo, and I feel like Marlo is working for a peach. Because she's already admitted on social media, she feels like she's ready to have a peach, and she's ready for one. And she's working for one. The best line is, Marlo tried to tell Portia something about a crown, and Portia was like, I'm not even wearing my crown, but I'm happy you see it. That's what all ladies, that's how we all need to feel. Yes, we're not walking around wearing a crown, but we are queens, and you need to recognize. Don't say at the end of the day. But in conclusion, that's all I care about with Portia and Marlo. On to next week. I only care to see what Portia is going to finally admit about Bolo. What they going to say about Tanya, because I heard Tanya's name come up. And I don't care anything else about New Orleans, and I don't care anything else. I don't care anything else about, I definitely don't care about this prophet. I'm going to read Drew ass down next week. when she started talking about this prophet. But that's it. Like, comment, and share. Like the video. Add your comments. Let me know what you thought about Reunion Part 2. And I will see you all later. Bye.